Gwyneth Paltrow's lifelong fear of obesity resurfaces in newly revealed yearbook quote. It seems Gwyneth Paltrow's passion for wellness and clean living isn't just a modern brand strategy but a mindset deeply rooted in her teenage years. In an excerpt from her forthcoming biography, obtained by People earlier this week, the world caught a glimpse of a striking confession hidden in her senior yearbook. Her biggest nightmare as a teen was obesity. This candid glimpse into her past adds yet another layer to Paltrow's decades-long, headline-making relationship with dieting, exercise, and the pursuit of what she considers optimal health. For many it's no surprise. At 52, the Oscar-winning actress, lifestyle mogul, and founder of Goop has built an empire promoting a vision of wellness that is as aspirational as it is controversial. In March 2023, Paltrow faced one of her most intense public backlashes after she openly detailed her daily wellness routine on the Art of Being Well podcast. Sitting comfortably with an 4-drip in her arm, she described her typical day. She starts with a coffee, carefully chosen because it won't spike her blood sugar. Food doesn't come until around noon, often just a cup of bone broth. Lunch, in her words, a lot of the days, is that same bone broth followed by 1 hour of movement, which could be anything from a walk around her neighborhood to a Pilates session or one of Tracy Anderson's famously intense workouts. Later, she spends 30 minutes in the sauna while dry brushing her skin to help detox. Dinner is where she allows herself something more substantial, usually a vegetable-rich meal inspired by the Paleolithic diet. Her restrictive routine ignited immediate backlash from medical professionals, dietitians, and even fellow celebrities, many accusing her of glamorizing starvation and promoting disordered eating behaviors. The conversation reached beyond her personal choices, touching on the responsibility of public figures with vast influence. Rather than retreat from the criticism, Paltrow offered an explanation. She revealed she had been battling long COVID and suffered from very high levels of inflammation, which shaped her diet. To combat it, she emphasized that she included lots of cooked vegetables, all kinds of protein, and healthy carbs. Despite these additions, the public concern persisted, especially over the message being sent to young people who look up to her. Paltrow made it clear that her description of her diet wasn't intended as advice, insisting that her wellness journey was uniquely personal and working really well for her. Yet, the words in that decades-old yearbook echo loudly. Her nightmare of obesity seems intertwined with choices she still makes today. In the years that followed, Paltrow did adjust aspects of her diet. 2 years after the podcast controversy, she moved away from the strict paleo approach. She openly admitted she became obsessed with eating very, very healthily, acknowledging the toll that kind of obsession can take, even on someone who has made wellness their career. Yet, her broader philosophy hasn't shifted dramatically. Through Goop, Paltrow still promotes detoxes, cleanses, and clean living, all under the belief that what we consume can transform how we feel. Her supporters admire her discipline and dedication, seeing her as someone committed to holistic well-being in a world of processed foods and sedentary lifestyles. Her critics, on the other hand, argue that her brand idealizes thinness, perpetuates unhealthy body image standards, and sells products that sometimes veer into pseudoscience. Paltrow's story, from the teenager afraid of obesity to the adult woman scrutinized for her bone broth lunches, sparks a larger cultural conversation about wellness, privilege, and the thin line between health consciousness and harmful obsession. It raises difficult questions. Is the relentless pursuit of health always healthy? And how do we separate personal choices from the influence they exert on millions who watch, listen, and follow? As Paltrow enters her mid-50s, she remains as polarizing as ever, a figure whose vulnerability and transparency sometimes invite admiration, and other times spark outrage. Her legacy will likely be defined as much by her roles on screen as by the broader dialogue she has helped ignite about diet, beauty, and the modern meaning of wellness. One thing is clear, whether through candid podcast confessions, yearbook confessions, or carefully curated Goop newsletters, Gwyneth Paltrow has never been afraid to show the world exactly who she is, flaws, contradictions, and all.